Rock on Beer viewers. My benevolent overlords at Bad Afro Records have told me that I'm not really the revenue stream that they had hoped for, so I'm gonna need to start producing some more content, or they're going to let me go, which they sort of made sound more sinister than just firing me. So I've come up with this idea that I hope everyone enjoys, and I hope that it makes a lot of money for Bad Afro Records. Yeah. I've been moving a lot of stuff around in the house, clearing out some storage type areas, and I found a lot of old homebrew. If you're a longtime watcher of this channel, you will not only get this joke here of the Bad Afro Records, but you will also know that I used to brew a lot more. I used to have access to kind of a brewing type facility, and I would brew a lot more often. And a lot of times I would brew a lot of beer, bottle it, and then brew something else, and then, you know, bottles would just kind of get pushed off to the side. And so I have some of those bottles that are just kind of left over from that period. They are really old, and I have, for a lot of them, I have absolutely no idea what is in them. Like, I didn't label them at all, and I just jammed them into beer crates, and yeah, so we're gonna play something I'm gonna call Old Homebrew Roulette. I am gonna open some of these bottles, and I am gonna try and figure out what they are and see how they've held up over the maybe years for some of them, probably just a year. Yeah, and you're gonna watch, and there's probably hilarity will ensue, or maybe it'll be boring, I have no idea. But I've taken some precautions because, I mean, it's old homebrew, so I've taken 3 precautions. I am sitting near the sink here in the kitchen. I have taken out this fish bowl, this very large bowl with fish on it, which is, of course, the only recognized means of catching overflowed beer from gushers. And I'm half in the bag, so safety first. Without further ado, let's get into this. So let's start with one I actually kind of know what it is. It's the only one that has something written on the top. I don't know if you can read it. It says BW, which I'm 99% sure means Berliner Weiss. And this is, I made a Berliner Weiss with sour wurting, where I kept the wort, I pitched just grain into it, and then kept the wort hot in a water bath. I remember it being the best Berliner Weiss I ever made. I've made about 3. One of them was a complete drain pour. The third was kind of, this was the best, but it's 2 years old. I'm gonna go with 2 years old, close to 2 years old. So I have absolutely no idea what it's gonna taste like. Very simple recipe, 50% pills, 50% wheat, wild lacto. That's it, yeah, that's it. So yeah, let's, oh, God, I didn't even put it in the fish. Safety first. It is very, very lively in the glass. You can see it's starting to come up the neck of the bottle, but looks like, surprisingly, this was fermented with USO5, so it fermented out pretty well. There shouldn't have been too much left at bottling to chew on over the ages. And but it is, you know, I don't know if you'd even call that overcarb for a Berliner Weiss. Wow, it still smells exactly like it's supposed to smell. Yeah, it's got that kind of bready wheat and Pilsner malty smell, but then the sharp lacto. Yeah, it just smells like a really clean Berliner Weiss. This was back when I had the facilities to kind of do more kettle souring type deals, which I really miss. Look how clear that beer is. That's really cool. We're starting off good on this roulette game. It smells better than it tastes. It's got kind of a, it's very, very light beer. It tastes good on the start. It tastes Berliner Weissy to start with. But then it has, yeah, just a really nice, kind of slightly tangy type Pilsnery malt. And then the aftertaste is just kind of, it's something that when it was younger, it wasn't there. Apple juice. Some kind of off flavor apple juice. I think that maybe it hasn't fermented, like the lacto hasn't taken over or anything because it was boiled, but there's maybe something from the wild lacto that's there now that's much more easy to spot because it's older. It's not ultra. It's not bad. It's really not good. It's just, but I am surprised that you can still drink it after all this time. All right, moving on. I'm gonna get another glass because I'm gonna let that settle. And let me just do a little jump cut here. All right, we are back for more Homebrew Roulette. Let's try something dark, something that I have no idea what it is. You can see that it's a dark beer. I can tell you it's a dark beer. It has a silver cap with absolutely nothing written on it. I am definitely gonna put it in the fish. Yeah, I have no idea. I can't even begin to tell you on this one. Wow, it didn't, I have an educated guess on what this is, and especially because it didn't overflow. Let's pour it and see if I'm right. It is definitely way overcarbonated. Holy crap. Take a look at that. Beer head. That is a ton of carbonation. By the way, I know that there's a person who works here that watches this. I didn't steal this. Well, I kind of stole it, but I stole it from, I didn't mean to steal it. It just ended up in the grain bag on a brew day. That's a story for one person. Anyway, let's see what we got here. It smells a bit off. Alright, oh man, there's so much head. I don't know what I'm gonna do about, let me see if I can get anything at all in the, it has a slightly acidic smell, which makes me think I can definitely smell dark malt. It's a dark beer. I can smell dark malt, but it also has a bit of a sharpness to it that could be a lacto infection, or it could just be, I don't know. This could actually be a coffee beer, and it could be something like that. So. No, it's a lacto infection. Very, very subtle one. Well, I thought I knew what this one was, but now I'm not so sure. I thought that this was the brown ale that I took to the Swedish homebrew competition in Malmö last year? No, the year before, I guess. The one with cardamom and coffee. But now I'm not so sure. This could be my farmhouse stout, although it doesn't taste stouty enough. It doesn't really have a lot of, it has dark malt character, but not a lot. I mean, it's dark enough to be a stout, but it's, it has more of a brown ale type character, and now it has more of like has just a very subtle acidity to it. Either way, this beer is at least a year old. Is that lacto? Damn, I don't know. I don't know. It does have a very subtle fruity like acidity, not sour, but that very dark. I'm gonna set this aside and let it kind of warm up a bit. I'll put a little bit more in the glass, see if I can't get any kind of other character out of it. All right, guys, got a new glass. Let's do some more roulette. This one, another one I have absolutely no idea about, and this one is the one I'm most scared about because it's a lighter beer. You can see how light it is. It has no markings whatsoever, so I do not know what this is. See some yeast gunk at the bottom, so I'm guessing it's bottle conditioned. I took so many precautions, and none of them have gushed. That's actually surprising to me. I have back when I used to bottle condition beer, if I'd find an old one, I would definitely find some gushers. This is, wow, what is this? What is this? This is very dark for a beer that I would make. Ooh, I just saw an ancient hop pellet go by, like some hop debris. I'm guessing it's some kind of hoppy beer that got jammed into the corner of somewhere and forgotten. Ooh, there's the smell. Spicy. Guessing it's not supposed to be some spicy. It's not supposed to be spicy. Damn, what is that? It's semi-recognizable. Yeah, it's definitely old hops. I can definitely smell old hops for sure. There's a real sharpness to it too, though, that makes me think that maybe we used to get these old bottles. We used to get them from a cafe that was below the guy I brewed with. He lived by like a cafe, and they would sell us the bottles for the cost of the deposit, and then we would wash them as best we could. But it was super cheap to get the bottles, but we were usually drinking them before they could get infected by the bottle because, I mean, who knows how long those bottles had sat in their back room before we got them. But we did have some issues with those bottles when we were doing that, and this is definitely one of those. So could be Brett is what I'm getting at, I think. Whoa. Well, I guess that's what you were here to see. Glad that we ended this with a bang. I just poured that whole bottle out, that whole glass out, because that tasted, I don't know what happened there. I don't know what that beer is, but that was foul, absolutely foul. Whoa, whoa. Go, old Berliner Weiss. That helps. It tastes like cider. It tastes like, what's that called? Is it acetaldehyde? That's the green apples? Could be that. This was something wild got in there, and not in a good way. I would guess that this is one of the old single hop beers that we churned out. We got into this kick churning out like single hop beers just to try the hops out, and we were probably going at a reckless pace on creating them and bottling them. So would guess that that's one of those, and we didn't clean the bottle well enough. And got some wild Brett in there, but it tasted like even I've had some infected bottles with just wild yeast in the air, and they hadn't tasted that bad, but that was like burning vomit. It was like yeah, just Band-Aids covered in vomit set on fire. Ugh. I don't know. I'm gonna end it there with that amazing description. Still can't figure out what this one is. It's definitely got a lacto infection, maybe, or maybe I made a farmhouse beer and I can't remember what I put in it, so maybe I purposely infected it. It's actually pretty decent. Doesn't have a lot of body, but it's got this semi-chocolatey, like figs dipped in chocolate, so it's not terrible. It's probably not purposefully what I wanted, but all right, guys, that does it for this round of old homebrew roulette. If you liked it, be sure to give me tell me the thumbs. That's probably what happens, right? Comments, thumbs up. If you got old homebrew that you've got just a couple bottles of, I've got more of this, by the way, so I am gonna try and make a few more of these. I don't have that much, but I think I've got enough for a couple more videos, which I'm gonna try and do. But I would love to see if any of you have something like this, like old homebrew that has been like, a bottle got forgotten somewhere, and you know it's probably going to be bad, or at least not good. I would love to see that video. So feel free to copy this format, and yeah, I will see you later. Let me know if you're going to do one. I want to see it. Subscribes, comments, thumbs, beer. Cheers.